Welcome back to Antique and Garden Showcase, friends. I'm outside today. I'm trying to get things ready for Christmas time. So I've got the white birch branches here, ready to go out into the urns. Nobody else on the street has decorated this year. It's kind of strange. Usually by Thanksgiving, a lot of the families have, like 2 Christmases. Part of their family comes on Thanksgiving and whatever, but there's only one house in the entire neighborhood right now that's decorated, and it's even, as I'm filming this is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So I want to get out here. I want to get this started. We'll see if anybody else follows suit. So I picked up this particular set of birch branches. They're not all fluffed out yet at Home Goods. And what I did to fit these in my urn was I cut 2 holes, or drilled 2 holes in here. And then I'm going to set these down on bricks, which will weight this down, and then run a zip tie under the brick and through this to hold it in place. And then of course I just drop my electrical down inside the urn, run an extension cord up through there, and all is good. But you do need something to kind of weight these down and hold them in place, and that's my solution. So far it's worked really well. I've done this for several years now, but some are plastic and come pre-drilled. These were wood, so I just went ahead and drilled holes in there, and I think it like I said, works really great. I have already placed the bricks inside the urn, and I've run the zip tie up through there. So now all I have to do is just set these down on there and put the zip tie up through that pre-drilled hole in there, and then just tie them down, and they're good for the season. And there we go. Very steady in the pot. The wind will rock it a little bit, but this stays very much in place. Here, the bricks keep this weighted down, so it's a great way to quickly secure these right into a pot. And they come out just as easy. Just take something and cut the plastic right here, and easy to take them down and store away. And there we have it. 2 urns finished up relatively quickly. I did these in probably less than 10 minutes putting this together. And you can actually go back in if you want, and I filled this in with live greenery, and you could tie bows on or do whatever, or just leave it plain. It kind of depends on the weather for me and what our conditions are like. A lot of times I'll go cut magnolia and holly and fix in there. Other times I'll leave it plain. So they light up at night, so the lights are really pretty and the birch looks good. So either way you want to go is a win-win. So last year I found these willow trees, and you all know I work as a merchandiser for Dollar General, and that's actually where I picked these up, were in Dollar General. They are willow trees with 180 warm LEDs, and they twinkle, and they actually take up much more volume than the trees that I just showed you. And they're about as tall, but they do have that weeping form, and I do like the twinkling lights. Now, the only bad part is they do have these very thin branches, and they do get kind of tangled up if there's a lot of wind or anything like that. I still think this year I'm going to use these on the outer urns on each side of the front porch, just because I like that little bit larger effect out there. I started to put them by the front door, and I thought, nah, I don't want everybody getting tangled up in those as they go out the door. So these are headed for the large urns at the corners of the porch. So when I put these together last year, I forgot that these holes are on 4 corners instead of centered like I had the others. So I'm going to have to go back and fix my bricks and put the zip ties in the corners instead of side to side. And I think it will still work just as well. So I went ahead and fixed my zip ties from a front to back configuration instead of a side to side. I put these in here ahead of time because if you've ever tried to fish these around underneath the bricks, total huge horrible problem. So believe me, if you're going to do this project, put those in there first, because you don't want to be trying to slip those underneath and do that. It just makes it so much worse. So I have the 4 by the front porch done, the 2 on either side of the door, the 2 outer ones with the weeping, and now I have this little friend right here. And being that this urn is one of the older ones, it requires a lot more work because it comes apart in sections. So I can't just lay the bricks down in there. They don't have a lip to hold to. I have to actually put those in there, the bricks in, and they have to be zip tied underneath the base of the bowl. So it's a whole challenge to put this bar in, run a zip tie up, zip tie in the bricks, then I have to zip tie the tree to the bricks. So there's a whole added step here. I'm not sure if I want to get into this today, but then it's going to rain, it's going to get cold, it's going to be in the 20s, it's 49 right now. Might as well go on and get it done, right? So this last urn requires these supplies. It requires the same 2 bricks that we used in all the others. I'm using this recycled rusty lamp part, which you can tell has been used a few years. What I do is I actually take this big cable tie and I run it through each side up underneath the flower pot bowl, goes up through there, and then that will wrap around a U in the middle of the bricks and hold the bricks together. Then I have to jinky these 2 ties up through here to hold the tree in place. So as you can see, there's a whole added step there. And I'm gonna go remove that bowl. Sorry, you're not gonna see any live action of this one, but I don't have a prop up here for the camera. So I'm gonna go take that apart and put this thing together. Okay, I will take you through the steps though. This is step 1. What I'm gonna do is put that lamp part, goes like this on the bottom side of that bowl. You can see that's the top, just come off. And then I'm going to make a U shape out of this, feed it through around this and into the top. Then I'll put this back on and secure my bricks to it. Now you can see in some weird way, this actually does work. You have the 2 cable ties coming up. We'll zip tie the bricks together on there, and then we'll be ready to install the last tree. Okay, so the last tree to install in urn number 5 is going to be this one. I've had these for quite a while. These actually came from Dollar General many years ago. They're a smaller 3-foot lighted white birch stick tree. And this one's a little bit shorter, and since that urn is shorter, the bigger trees just look like they overwhelm it. So this year I'm going to change and put this smaller tree in there, which I think, you know, will balance that garden out a little bit better against everything else. So proportion wise, I'm going to go with this one. And there we have it, the final one secured. And I do like the proportion of that one better than a taller one in that particular pot. In fact, those are probably a little too large here, but I do like the effect they give and the twinkling effect of the willows. So I think everything is in place out here now except for the lawn deer, but this is where it's going to stop today because the weather's getting ready to change tonight and I don't want to wire everything up and let it sit out here in the wet. So we're going to leave it be, but this is just a little bit of how I put the urns together each year. Time does not always allow me to show you everything that I do with the urns for every season. And we know this summer has not been a good season for me to do things. So I thought I would take you along on the Christmas journey here when I change these out for this long season and kind of brighten things up when it's starting to look a little dull and gray outside. So today was a good day. It's nice and shiny outside, and it's still about 50 degrees out here today. A little chilly, but a good day to get this project done. So all the urns are finished, and maybe after the weekend and we've got like 2 days of rain, I think, coming up. After that, I can get out there and put the drop cords on, and if I want to put greenery in those, I can put greenery in. I've got some deer to go over here in the driveway island, but I'm not going to put them out either today. They're tucked in nice and dry too, so we'll wait until again after this weather. But thank you for watching Antique and Garden Showcase, and we'll see you in the next one.